The paranormal story begins with a rumor, with which a truck driver arrived who had been transporting oranges. It must have been around 11 at night when he reached the stop, completely pale, sweating, drooling. His face showed fright and despair. "Ma'am, do you have something strong to drink?" he told the woman who ran the bar. She immediately handed him a bottle of water. He opened it and drank deeply. He sat at one of the tables and began to calm down. One of the curious drivers went to find out what had happened. That was when he told a strange and terrifying story. He said he had come from Rio Verde. When he was on a stretch of road near Cerrito, he saw a young girl walking along the side. It was not common to see people there, so he flashed his lights at her, which made her turn. When she turned, he saw with horror that she had no face, a head without features, no eyes, no mouth, on a blurred white body. As he drew closer, he watched it evaporate, leaving behind a mass of white smoke that spread across the road and then completely disappeared. A fantastic moment. Another trucker, used to hearing such tales, told him it was common. Sometimes those apparitions appeared on the roads. Surely a dead person had lain on that road and his soul showed up in grief, he said. Another trailer driver tried to calm the frightened man, who, still upset, locked himself in his cab until morning. Days later it became known that the appearance was recurring. For a week, several rigs arriving in Mariendar reported seeing the ghost of a girl. The description was the same, a small white woman, faceless and legless, floating at the edge of the road, who sometimes peered in at the driver through the window and then vanished. It terrified drivers, who tried to get away from it. Many passed that stretch at high speed without stopping, yet still felt the apparition close to them. One Saturday afternoon a group of driver friends gathered. They had a barbecue and drank until sunset. In the heat of the bottles they began to talk about that ghost and issued a challenge. Go to the place and walk around until they saw the apparition. Excited, they accepted, piled into a truck with beers in hand, and set off. They drove until they reached the entrance to Cerrito. A few kilometers on they saw the spot where the ghost was said to appear. They walked toward a tree on one side of the road and noticed a cross with a little niche, as if someone had died there. To be sure, they approached and read the name engraved on the cross, Alicia López Rodríguez. They concluded it must be the young girl who had been raped and killed weeks earlier. Her body had been found there, and the culprit had never been caught. They decided to leave, everyone except one. They boarded the truck, but he stayed behind, urinating beside the deceased's niche and making fun of it the whole time. When he tried to return, he felt cold hands grab his feet and he fell, striking himself on the stones. The others laughed, thinking it a prank. The man got up and ran desperately toward the truck, forcing them to hold back and not drive away. They were still laughing when one of them saw the girl's ghost standing by the niche, her soul like a thread. They accelerated and fled as fast as they could. Sometime later, the quiet of the diner was broken by a man who arrived distraught with bad news. A terrible accident had happened near the entrance to Cerrito. A trailer had left the road. Several drivers went to help. When they reached the scene it was horrifying. The trailer lay on its side with the tires up. It wasn't carrying liquid, but the sight was gruesome. The cab had been smashed to pieces against the stones. The driver had not survived. His body was shattered and crushed between the twisted metal. Everyone was stunned to learn the driver was none other than Emilio García. The accident had occurred only a few meters from Alicia's niche. Everything began to fit in a dark way. People speculated about Emilio's death, coincidence, justice, revenge of the dead. They were left with great uncertainty and many doubts, which would be answered days later. One morning a well-known woman entered the diner. She was Pola, her hair neatly tied and her face serene. She greeted the owner and, after a while of talking, mentioned that she knew Emilio had died. "In my dreams my daughter told me she had rested in peace and that her death had been avenged," she said. This morning I dreamed of it. I heard of the accident in the paper. God bless my daughter." Then Pola said goodbye and left. They never saw her again. Many who heard that conversation did not believe it, but the truth is that after Emilio died, the ghost of the girl never appeared again.